Well, everybody that has a plasma cutter would love to have a CNC plasma table. But we all know that they're very expensive and they're fairly complicated to build if you don't know much about computers. I guess I could definitely go give it a try, but I'm not the greatest with computers, so it was a little much for me. So I came up with this idea of using an old radial arm saw to kind of give myself a little guidance as far as plasma cutting and let me do some 90-degree cuts, some straight cuts, and to also control my cutting speed and the height at which I cut at. So basically a radial arm saw, normally this would be the saw here, and you would just drag it through your workpiece like this. Well, instead I put this cradle on that allows me to just insert my plasma cutter into it. So at that point, what you have here is I put a fence in that's at 90 degrees to the arm. You have your height adjustability here with the old crank, so depending on what kind of piece you're cutting, you can set your proper depth on your plasma. And a couple other options it does have is the ability to lock it in, swivel it at different angles. So if you did want to, say, do an angled cut like this, it wouldn't be a problem. And then also, of course, you can straighten it out to 90 degrees. So you may say, well, what the hell is the point of this? But lots of times when I'm building something, I might have a 8-inch sheet of something. I want to do a quick 90 degree on, and I can just do that by hand here, quick. Also, I added this threaded rod here, which eventually is going to be able to lock into the head, and that's going to give me a feed option here. I plan on putting a crank on here. So this is still kind of in the design phase of the project, but I just wanted to let you guys know what I've kind of been up to as far as trying to design this system. As well, I'm planning on putting a dust collector, a cone on the bottom of this, so that also it's going to also function as just a normal plasma table. If you didn't want to use that straight cut mechanism, you could just swing this out of the way and do your freehand cutting here. Most of the stuff I work on isn't that big, so I don't really need a huge size table, but basically that's the gist of it. Other than stripping down the old one, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I don't know if anyone has any suggestions on other ideas for things I can do with it, but still kind of phase one of this project. Some of this stuff turned out a bit gnarly because I had to get the height, so I might probably redo it and then have this to be able to lock in and unlock a little bit better. But I'm going to do a couple cuts with it here and just give you an idea of how it works. And again, if anyone has any ideas or thinks it's stupid, go ahead and comment, and might help me improve it a little bit. But I'll just do some cuts. Okay, so first off, I'll just show you when I have this thing lined up 90 degrees. I'll be able to put a piece up against the fence. Let's say I just want to shorten this down a bit. So first thing I'm going to have to do is set the depth by turning this crank. And it's going to maintain that depth for me, which is one of the hardest things to do when you're freehand cutting. So then, if I wanted to just make a cut here, I'm a little jerky there, right? But I mean, it does cut it. Not too bad. Also, I could just hold the piece here, do a 90 degree, whatever I want. So I think I'll try maybe using the screw mechanism here. I just put a drill on it for now, so see how that works. So it's a two-handed thing right now, but Eventually I'll have some kind of trigger control here. Oh. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's with the drill. Yeah, pretty nice cut. Anyways, any suggestions? I think with the crank here I'll have some kind of button, you know, for the remote trigger control, but it's kind of an interesting idea. Play around with it a bit yet. I think this will be maybe a 1 of 2 part series here, but kind of looking for a little bit of input, so let me know what you guys think.